Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's meditation class with me, Jill, over here at Vitalia Strongsville. If you're just tuning in because we just started recording, great. For those in Solon who have been watching me swat a fly for the past few moments, thank you for being here, Solon. I know that we've been going week to week. Sometimes we change our themes of our meditation, and lately we've been kind of going through some emotions, right? So last week we talked about forgiveness and trying to find that forgiveness in our hearts for ourselves and for others. And today we are going to tap into the emotion of fear. And just like all other emotions we talk about, there are so many different forms of fear. There is the fear where, you're actually afraid of something like a scary movie or a stranger in the night. Those are the things that we fear and we get nervous about and we get scared of. We might be afraid of heights. We might be afraid of spiders. We might be afraid of being on bridges. There's so many things that we can fear when it comes to things being scary. A creepy spider, you think they're going to bite you and you're going to turn into Spider-Man maybe. Or just get a really bad welt, or that you might get sick from it. And it doesn't feel good to be bitten by a spider or a bee or any kind of bug. The fear of heights, or being on a bridge or crossing over bridges or under bridges. You are afraid they're going to fall. You're going to fall. It's going to collapse. There's so many things that could happen, right? And then there's also different kinds of fear, like the fear of what will happen, getting into a relationship. There's that fear of not knowing a person and being fearful of hurt and pain. There's fear of, going out and doing things because you think something might happen that's not going to be good. You might think that you're going to get in a car accident, or somebody might rob you, or there's anything in life, any possible thing in life, there could be something to fear. And if we lived our life based on that, we would all be living in these little bubbles and never leave our homes and never eat anything, never go outside, never do anything. So we're going to look at fear today, what exactly we are fearful of, and how we can see that fear in a different light, how we can look at something that's scary and make it seem less scary, and how we can build confidence in knowing that we can't predict the things that will happen, and we cannot stop living our lives because of that. I know that I fear a lot of things, and when I had really bad anxiety and panic attacks when I was younger, it was worse. It became like this paranoia, and I was always looking over my shoulder and afraid of this and afraid of that, and it became very debilitating. I didn't go out much. I was afraid to drive certain places if I didn't know exactly where I was, and it can really affect your life, and it can make you lose friends and family, and just the lack of enjoyment. And it again brings on our own suffering. We're creating these thoughts in our minds that are not even true, but we think that they could be true, so we avoid things in order to keep ourselves safe. So let's look at fear today. Before we start to tap into our minds, we're going to warm up our bodies. And today we'll focus on our hands. So most of you probably know our hands have so many joints in them, and it's one of the places where we get arthritis, usually the fastest and the worst. We might start to see a change at early age if we've been writing a lot, or we worked on a computer all of our lives, or did anything with our hands like gardening or sewing, all kinds of things like that, we might see a change in our hands earlier. So let's work out all those little joints in the hands, the fingers, and the wrists. So we're going to start by just bringing our hands up in front of us and circling the wrists around. Just loosen those wrist joints. And then change directions and circle the other way. Good. And then bring your hands together as if you were bringing them to prayer, and just push on one hand as you bend the other one over. Push into the fingers, start to feel the stretch in the fingers and the palm of the hand and in the wrist. Hold that. And then switch sides. Come to the other side, push and hold until you feel a stretch. No one ever thinks to stretch their hands or stretch their fingers. So it's also important. Same with your feet and your toes. And switch back to the other side, press and hold. And one more time, other side, press and hold. Good, come on back to the middle. Intertwine these fingers now, and then take the palms out and press them forward towards me. Stretch again the palms of the hands and the fingers. You also should get a stretch here through the forearm and the wrist. Good, and then kind of just move that around a little bit. Oh, cracked my knuckle there. Good. And then keeping the hands together and fingers intertwined, circle those wrists around again. Good job. Take your hands apart. This time we're going to take the hands in front of us as wide as you can, spread those fingers apart. So don't let the fingers stay together. Really try to move them away from each other as much as you can. And then clench them in. Don't forget to bend your thumb in. So sometimes we just bring these fingers in and forget about our thumbs. They bend as well. So bring everything in like you're making a fist, and then open them back up. Good, squeeze and hold. And then expand and spread. Fist. And open. Fist. And open. Good, one more time. And then let's do one at a time. Let's just bend the thumbs. Kind of bend them in. Move around that joint. This muscle too, this meaty part of your palm, tends to get pretty sore and tight sometimes, so it's good to stretch that out. Good, and then change to the first finger and start to bend that little guy. And then the middle finger. Sometimes it's hard to bend one finger without the other ones coming with it, so try the best you can. And then the ring finger. And then that pinky. I definitely can't bend my pinky without other fingers bending at the same time. All right, then all fingers open and squeeze one more time, maybe a little faster. All right, shake it out. And hopefully we have released some of that tension in our hands. A lot of times when we are fearful of something, we might clench, right? We're driving in a car, we're holding on to the side, the seat, the arm, or the bar that's up here. We're holding on for dear life. So hands tend to tense up in moments of fear, when we're scared of things. And also, part of the fear of the unknown, we might clench as well. Or, in moments of anger even. Those hands start to get tense. So make sure the hands are nice and loose. And then we will relax the arms and the hands. So let the arms come down, let the hands come down. Take a deep breath in and a long breath out. Good. Breathe in and breathe out. Again, inhale, fill your lungs all the way up and let it all go. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Get comfortable in your chair as we prepare for our meditation. So lean back if it feels good. Let your arms rest. Make sure both of your feet are resting on the floor. Uncross the legs. We want the blood to flow evenly from the head to the toes on both sides. Make sure we're not tense in any areas of the body. And just let yourself kind of melt into your chair, wherever you are seated. And gently close your eyes. As you close your eyes, begin to pay attention to your breath. The breathing in and out through the nose. The gentle movement of airflow. Just knowing your presence here in this moment. Knowing that you're here in this room, and that you're sitting in this chair, and that you are ready to clear the mind and the heart of things that are fearful. Normally in meditation, we think about clearing the mind or letting go of all of our thoughts. But at the same time, we also want to feel our feelings, allow them to come to surface, and then let them go. So we start with that deep, deep feeling of emotion. We notice what it feels like to us, or maybe sometimes we feel things we've never felt before because we did not allow ourselves to feel, or we thought we couldn't. So in your mind's eye, here as you breathe, relaxed in your chair, begin to think of one thing, maybe the thing that you are most fearful of. And there's such a wide range of things that cause fear in our lives or in our minds. So just think of one thing to start. The thing that scares you the most, the thing that holds you back the most. And in your mind's eye, begin to see what that fear looks like. And allow yourself to feel that fear in this moment. As children start to imagine things when they're young, they might fear a monster under their bed or in their closet. And they can see what that monster looks like. It's big and it's scary. So whatever your fear is, see what it looks like to you. It might look like a big monster. A big monster trying to hold you back in your life, prevent you from going forward, prevent you from truly living the life that you want to live, holding you back from the things that you know that you can do and that you deserve to do. So allow yourself in this moment to look that number one fear in the eye, whatever it looks like. And then start to look at it in a different light. If you see your fear as this big dark space, begin to lighten it up. Turn it pink, turn it orange. If it's a big monster or a big spider coming at you, put bows in its hair. And let flowers come out of its mouth. Turn that fear into something not so scary. See your fear smiling at you. Change the way you look at your number one fear. Begin to see it differently and think to yourself, that's not so scary. That's not so bad. Why am I allowing it to hold me back? Why am I allowing that fear to ruin my joy? To ruin moments in my life that I should be enjoying? Look at your fear differently. And once you've seen and changed the way you look at that number one fear, begin to see other little fears come up, other things that we avoid. Maybe it's a food that you haven't tried yet in your life, and you're afraid to, tap into that sushi, or something that you might never eat. Could be the littlest kind of fear that we know won't harm us, but we just can't do it. When your mind's eye begin to look at all those other little fears that come up on a daily basis. And once they start to pop up in the mind, change the way you look at those fears as well. Change the way you look at them and see them in a different light. Maybe they look completely different to you when we let go of the fear. If we are fearful of a specific kind of animal or bug, maybe we see that as a beautiful creature, a creature of God, a creature of this universe that was created for a reason. And we find the beauty of it and the goodness in that. Look at every fear that sits in front of you. All those scary things. Know that it's okay to be fearful. but also know that you can change the way that you see them and make them less scary. And once we've looked at all those little things that scare us, start to tap into the heart and the mind and the thoughts and the emotions that are scary and that hold us back. Maybe the fear of rejection, the fear of pain, the fear of heartache, and the fear of distrust. There's still things that can be scary, but are they really going to harm us that much that we will never be able to go on if we experience them again? Allow yourself to look at those emotional fears in our hearts and in our minds, and then change the way they look. And see love as a good thing. See heartache as a lesson. See distrust as a way to forgive. And look at all the emotions that are coming up for you that are scary to experience. And then see them in a different light and what we can get out of that if we do happen to experience it again. Maybe collectively start to see all of those fears all around you. The big one on top, the little ones all around, the emotions at the center of the heart. And allow a big, bright light to embrace all of that fear. Imagine that big white light just giving all that fear a big hug. Knowing that it's okay. And in this moment, as we tap into all those things that we are fearful of, allow yourself to really feel everything that is in your heart and in your mind in this moment. And start to slowly bring your awareness back to your breathing. Let the inhale and the exhale become a little deeper. And start to invite in some gentle movements as we awaken back into this space. Wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes inside of your shoes. Letting your head gently rock from side to side. And then coming back to our seat into that nice posture. And sitting up tall and gently opening up your eyes again. Hopefully, in this practice, we were all able to see the things that we are fearful of. Hopefully, we were able to feel what it feels like to be afraid in so many different forms. And hopefully, we were able to conquer and see those fears in a different light. Things in life can be very scary. Change is scary. New people, new relationships, new friendships, new jobs. These little things that we all face in our lives and that we can all deal with every day, they're scary. But they don't have to disable us from living. They don't need to hold us back from enjoying the simple things in life. Maybe we are just a little more careful when we cross over a bridge or walk through the woods alone or things like that. Maybe we're just a little more cautious instead of avoiding them completely. We only get one life, and we need to live it to the fullest. And the only thing that holds us back is that fear. Let go of your fear. Have a wonderful week. Maybe your homework this week, if you actually listen to my homework when I give it, is to go out and do something, one thing that you're fearful of. One thing. That's it. Maybe it's trying that new food, and it's as simple as that. And if you don't like it and you really, really hate it, you could spit it out. You don't even have to swallow it all the way. But you might love it, and it might bring some new joy to your life that you didn't know existed because you were always afraid to try something new. Have a great rest of your week. Thank you for being with me today. As always, stay open-minded, let go of your fear, and embrace the change, try something new. We'll see you next week.